Keep in mind though, when it comes to this whole body type fiasco, I could overlook it because this was a staple of Elden Ring and nobody complained.
I keep laughing at how stupid you are.
Yes, it's obviously fine because Elden Ring also did it. Because, you know, Elden Ring is the gold standard and what every game should be held to. Elden Ring is the masterpiece and the holy grail of gaming, dude.
Like, real talk.
And since Elden Ring had the body types, it clearly wasn't a woke game. Just like how if Elden Ring had two Tyrones, you know, kissing, you know, making love together maybe, or like, you know, a bear scene where like you make love with the bear, it would also be okay and completely fine. Because, you know, it's Elden Ring. You know, Elden Ring can do no wrong. Elden Ring is the best game of all time.
I would honestly say Crowbcats' video here is his most soulless one yet. Absolutely nothing. And it's a video that he timed and uploaded as soon as the Oblivion Remake showcase was over. That he timed and uploaded as soon as the Oblivion Remake showcase was over.
You really are stupid, ain't you?
Oh my god, you guys. Shots fired. Shots motherfucking fired. Fritanga is calling out Crowbcat for uploading his video about the Oblivion Remaster being soulless right after the showcase was over. Meanwhile, get this, okay? Fritanga did the same exact thing. Literally the kettle calling the pot black.
Real talk, take one look at the game, and he had no choice but to commit. He had this video holstered, and even though the remake turned out to be great,
5 minutes later.
anyway, he's gonna go boot this bitch up.
So I can't help that you're stupid.
You also really gotta love how Fritanga is like, dude, bro, you like never even played the game. The remake is like peak Kino, dude. Bro, this is the greatest remake of all time, you Sony pony. Like, he's hardcore shilling for this remaster, shitting on Crowbcat, not playing the remaster, while he himself also has not played it. Also, I'm not even joking, this Xbox shill retard really tries to imply that Crowbcat is some sort of Sony fanboy for not calling out The Last of Us remaster.
But what's funny about Crowbcat is he still doesn't have a video on The Last of Us remake and how disastrous that was and how soulless that was, eh? Isn't that hilarious?
Which is hilarious, isn't it?
Isn't that hilarious?
Like, so haha funny. Which, because for anybody who doesn't know, Fritanga, much like a closeted homosexual who is repressing his inner feelings and desires for other men, is instead repressing his inner feelings and desires for his love of Xbox and Phil Spencer's BWC. So,
You know, everything Latina Parfait he says is based and correct.
I guess in a way he kind of is gay, but you know, that's besides the point. We do not judge you if you're part of the ABC community, you know? So, you know, Fritanga, you can come out of the closet if you want, you know? Like, we won't judge you, Fritanga. It's all good, G. It's all good. But anyways, he then tries to act like and pretend he is above the console war bullshit and that he doesn't pick any sides, but we can all see who Fritanga has a crush on, okay? Let's be honest. Let's keep it a $1.93. But anyways, okay? Anyways, he also loves to flip-flop on everything. One minute he's anti-woke, the next he's for the woke bullshit, well, as long as Xbox does it. So he basically flip-flops more than a Magikarp on dry land. Now he's on this like fuck Nintendo, you know, crusade, like this fuck Nintendo grift. And as you can see, he's milking this cow for all that it's worth.
Real talk. Real talk.
But yeah, basically Bethesda and Xbox has dropped the Oblivion Remaster, and it's basically the same exact game as before, but just with a new fresh, you know, coat of paint. Well, mostly the same exact game as before, since this is modern day Bethesda we are talking about. They went back and they added their touch of, you know, their spice of DI woke bullshit to a nearly 20-year-old game, because obviously referring to men and females as such is controversial in the modern age. We need to refer to them as the body type 1s and 2s that they were always meant to be. Well, at least according to Nexus mods, that is. Because somebody tried uploading a mod that reverts the body type bullshit back to, you know, male and female, but within hours of it being posted on Nexus, it was hit with that perma ban. You know, the user got banned and so did the mod, which, you know, none of us saw coming. Because, you know, it's not like Nexus has this like long history of, you know, being an extremely woke site where they ban you if you like mod out like the ABC community flags and Spider-Man or any of that type of shit. You know, it's not like they have a long history like that or anything. Then they pulled some bullshit as to why the mod was being banned was because of the user's behavior, quote unquote. Yeah, okay, buddy. Go fuck yourself.
Real talk.
Then on top of all of this, it's now the most endorsed mod for the Oblivion Remaster, which, you know, it's quite lovely, not gonna lie. So with the body type shit out of the way, they also somehow made the NPCs even more ugly than before, which I didn't even know if that was possible. Like, genuinely, like, I didn't even think that was possible. Everybody give, you know, Bethesda a round of a fucking applause. Like, congratulations, Bethesda, you know, for making your characters look even worse than they did in the 20-year-old game. Like, that literally looks like a man. Like, I refuse to believe this. It doesn't look like a woman. And this guy, and like, what the fuck did they do to his eyes? He looks kind of bad. What the fuck is wrong with this neck? Of course the, you know, the master swordsman, the master fighter is a black queen. Like, that takes, like, real skill and accomplishment right there. Like, look what they did to the yellow champion woman from the arena, by the way. Holy fuck, she got hit with the ugly. What the fuck did they do to her? Holy shit. Oh my god, what the fuck did they do to her? Like, is this even the same person? Like, the real woman must have been, like, abducted by aliens and shit, and this is, like, her alien replacement. But, like, seriously, this isn't even the same woman, and she's ugly as fuck, too. Not to mention, okay, what happened to her red hair? Is Bethesda colorblind, or do they also just hate redheads like all other, you know, modern woke companies? And look at this. Look at the fucking gray prince.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my, what the fuck oh my god, do you see this? What did they do to him? What did they do to him? Like, oh my god, what the fuck happened to him? He got hit with like 90 fucking ugly sticks in a row. Like, just all in a row, just bashing him over the fucking head. Like, holy shit, the Grey Prince, like I almost feel bad for killing him. Like, I already did feel kind of bad for killing him in the original. But now, like, it's like, you know, it's like killing a person on a fucking wheelchair. Like, goddamn, man. Now, to be fair, some NPCs actually do look better, or maybe like slightly better, but then others look straight up worse. Like, by Azura, how did they make you look even more fucking ugly? And on top of that, they gave you spaghetti noodle hair. Like, look at that fucking hair texture, man. Like, there's no way you can defend that shit. They also removed stat bonuses from male and female, because that obviously is sexist and shit. Obviously, females can have just the same starting strength as the men do, you racist, sexist, misogynistic fucking bigots. Fuck you. Women are the strongest and most independent creatures and shit. So instead of having, you know, stat bonuses for, you know, if you're female or male, they added origins, which basically is what replaces the stat bonuses. In other words, it's, you know, pretty gay. Hella fucking gay, if I don't say so myself.
You know, everything Latina Parfait he says is based and correct.
I can't believe we live in a world, though, where retards think men and women have no differences, and that men and women, you know, don't even actually exist, but it's just a social construct or some bullshit. Like, goddamn, man. They also added a body type Dremora to the deluxe edition side quest that you have to spend an extra $10 on, so, you know, that's always amazing. You know, spending an extra $10 on the $60, you know, deluxe edition, and you get a woke side quest that, you know, they just had to, you know, insert woke bullshit into a game that's 20 fucking years old. They just had to do it. They just couldn't fucking help themselves, dude. Which, to nobody's surprise, looks like some androgynous creature, barely even passing as a body type 2 to begin with. Despite the fact that there are no male Dremora in Oblivion, like, if you've ever played Oblivion, you know that Dremora are only males. But I guess body type 2s can be anything they set their mind to. Oh, wait, my bad. I've been making a mistake this entire video so far. I've been referring to the, you know, women as body type 2s, but, you know, Bethesda, they subverted our expectations with this fucking remaster, dude, and they made the body type 1 the women and the body type 2 the male. So goddamn, I gotta start saying, you know, body type 1 for the women now and body type 2 for the males. Like, holy shit, this is like really confusing, man. They also changed one of the statues to be more empowering to women. Then they completely removed women armor designs to androgenized body type 1s or maybe 2s, whatever the fuck you want to call. I mean, they're basically the same thing. Like, you know, women, men, basically the same person. Like, there's no differences. So I mean, might as well just say body types, okay? You know, because, you know, there's obviously no fucking such thing as, you know, gender or sex. To androgenized body types to look no different than the body type 1s, which again, like, at this point, like, is there really any difference between body type 2s and 1s? They have the same stat bonuses. They subverted our expectations by making body type 1s, you know, females. Like, at this point, like is there any difference? Like, is a man, like, can a man actually give birth now in Oblivion? Like, I have no idea. Probably according to, you know, the wokies at Bethesda, probably he could. Who knows? I'm sure there's also other woke shit that I'm either just forgetting or haven't encountered, but you get the point. It's Oblivion from back in the day, you know, our lovely, you know, the masterpiece that was Oblivion. Like, I know a lot of people shit on Oblivion for like the level scaling and like certain other, you know, aspects of the game, but personally, I like Oblivion a lot. It's my favorite in the Elder Scrolls series, and you know, it's back, but with a new, fresh, modern coat of paint. And when I say modern, I do mean modern. So with all of this woke bullshit out of the way, our grifting buddy old pal, our 62 IQ amigo fritangaplays is shilling this remaster and calling it great, despite supposedly being anti-woke.
I think it's fair to say that what Bethesda showed here today far, and I mean far, exceeded our expectations.
Let's not. This, again, the shilling shit. This shit where it's like, this sounds like shilling to me.
And even though the remake turned out to be great,
you're a fucking shill if you say that. 100%. What the? That is, only a shill would say that. Literally only a shill would say that.
he still went ahead and hit publish, and he didn't even actually make a video.
The first thing I can tell you, salt. That's all I can taste is salt.
Like, you know, like something's not adding up, bro. Like there's something just not adding up. But yeah, that's typical how it works with these people that have, you know, no morals, beliefs, or even soul to begin with. That's why they are attracted to soulless remasters and games, cause they have nothing inside of them. And you know, it kind of ties back into why he's attacking Crowbcat, you know, calling Crowbcats videos soulless when he himself is soulless.
I would honestly say Crowbcats video here is his most soulless one yet.
You really are stupid, ain't you?
Then because, like I mentioned before, he's a closeted Xbox fanboy who is repressing his inner desires. He rambles on about how, oh, if this was Sony, you know, if this was Sony making a remaster, they'd charge you $70. Oh my god. And if this was Nintendo doing the remaster, they'd also charge you $70 also, dude.
It makes you realize just how greedy Nintendo and Sony truly are. If this was Nintendo, this would be $70, and it would just be a 1080p bump with 60 FPS. If it was Sony, it would be a remaster of Starfield and not a remaster of Morrowind or Oblivion. And yes, they would also charge you $70 for it. But what we're getting here is $50, and that just blows my mind because
what the? That is, only a shill would say that. Literally only a shill would say that.
Because you always need to grasp at every straw possible to own the other consoles. But remember, he's not a console fanboy though. Thank you, Daddy Phil Spencer, for only charging $50 instead of $70 for this remaster. Thank you. Let me just pull down your pants, okay, Daddy's Phil Spencer, okay? And let me get a, you know, let me get a good suck on that, you know. But you know, apparently our standards have fallen this low. I don't know.
A massive overhaul in the details alone. There was a lot of soul put into this, in spite of what Crowbcat is saying, and we'll get to him in a second.
Yeah, so much soul, Kino, dude.
Alone, there was a lot of soul.
This is hilarious.
Those diversity hires at modern day Bethesda poured their heart and soul into this remaster, adding body types and adding fog and smog everywhere, dulling down and watering down all of the colors, taking somebody else's work and making it objectively worse. The soul Kino is off the motherfucking charts with this one, dude. Or how about switching the UI, such as the health bars to Skyrim's? Wow, the soul charts are overflowing with this one, am I right? Or how about the actual UI looking worse in many aspects and looking just very cheap in general? Like, I don't know if it's just me, but the UI looks like it was cooked up in Unreal in about like 5 minutes. Like, it just looks so cheap and two-dimensional. Like, again, with the alien analogy, it's like some aliens abducted the old UI and replaced it with this modern day slop. Like, you know, it looks the same if you squint your eyes, but as soon as you grab some eye drops and rub your eyes, you start to see the imposter and not the soulful UI of the old game. But yeah, nothing about this remake screams soul or talent, let's be honest.
The proper, true remake, but it's being titled a remaster, and that's kind of humbling.
This is what I'm saying, like, the fucking shilling is so weird around this game.
More with the Xbox deep-throating. Like, sure, the game leans more towards a remake than a remaster, but does it really matter what the fuck they label the game as or call it? Does it really matter?
Real talk.
Like, them calling it a remaster doesn't make them humble in the slightest. Also, speaking about people or corporations being humble, we all know that Latinas are the most humble. pure and amazing. Not to mention, without Latinas, the world would have ended over thousands of years ago at this point, because Latinas always save the day from evil and save the world. Latinas can do no wrong, and that's why you should join the Latina kingdom, where I, your Latina queen, will never let you down. Ever. But yeah, I'm obviously not trying to react to all of Fritanga's video, as he mostly just rambles on and either sucks off the Oblivion Remaster or just repeats himself about how Crowbcat is now shit and how his video is soulless because he just uploaded clips of the original Oblivion interview, which I don't know if Fritanga knows this or not, but that's typically what Crowbcat does on his channel. You know, he just uploads clips. Sure, maybe it doesn't have the most editing in the world, but does it detract or take away from the point that Bethesda and other game companies used to actually have passion for what they created? Like, you cannot tell me or argue in good faith that modern day Bethesda is actually good, or they put soul and passion into their games, or the vast majority of AAA publishers for that matter. Especially when you look at games like fucking Slopfield or Fallout 76, like bro, like you're literally, you're huffing that fucking copium, bro.
But being so lazy and just re-uploading a documentary that says nothing and doesn't make your point for you, yeah, gonna go ahead and unsubscribe from Crowbcat after that. I mean, I gave the guy a lot of chances, but he's really fallen off.
Why am I poisoned? Why am I toxic? What?
So obviously he has to attack Crowbcat since he doesn't like Microsoft and Bethesda's new game. Oh no, you guys, for Fritanga unsubbed from Crowbcat for not being a shill towards Microsoft, for not being an Xbox fanboy and sucking off their new game. How will Crowbcat ever regain his -1 in sub count, dude? He's gonna starve now.
No, I'm gonna starve!
And he's not gonna be able to put food on the table because Fret unsubbed, dude. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, this is a tragedy.
Face it, Crowbcat is washed up. I could do all of his edits a million times better than he ever could.
Why am I toxic?
Okay, do it then. Who's stopping you?
There are remakes and remasters worth shitting on, and then there are remake and remasters worth playing. But that truth bomb right there doesn't fit the Crowbcat agenda. Because if he did that side-by-side comparison, people would be able to see how much more work put into making Cyrodiil look a lot more lived in.
I mean, who's saying he won't or isn't making that video now? The game just came out, and he put out a video where he just uploaded clips of the original interview, implying the new game is soulless based on the title, and this has got your panties up in a bunch.
I mean, just the interiors and architecture alone are a phenomenal step up. I mean, you don't make architecture like that in a game if there is no soul.
What architecture are they making? They just updated the models or slightly added more depth to them, like giving bricks more cracks in them or making them look more three-dimensional. They just took the original models and updated them. They didn't create this architecture, okay? They didn't create these buildings, these caves, these ruins. So I guess updating textures or slightly adjusting them from what somebody else already handcrafted from scratch is now considered soul and passion, dude. Like, motherfucker, working on or updating somebody else's game isn't soul or passion. Soul would be creating your own game or doing a actual good, faithful remake or remaster where you don't remove shit like gender and female armor or go out and change statues because they appeal to the male gaze and to make them, you know, feminist statues, feminist empowerment statues. But again, this is all okay because Microsoft is doing it. Remember that, everybody. You know damn well Fritanga would be hating on this remaster like no tomorrow if Sony bought Bethesda and was dropping this. Let's be fucking honest, okay?
It's clear the point Crowbcat is trying to make is, wow, look how much more they cared about Oblivion back then. Clearly that remaster and remake ain't gonna have that touch or soul, and that just didn't turn out to be the case whatsoever.
I keep laughing at how stupid you are.
I mean, it literally did. Also, what's really funny is how Fritanga is so mad about Crowbcat's video not having soul. Meanwhile, neither does any of his videos, or hell, even this video. There's very little editing, and the vast majority, probably like 80%, is just him using the Oblivion Remaster showcase trailer as background footage. Wow, that doesn't seem very soulful to me.
Real talk.
Then in his follow-up video titled Oblivion Remaster vs Salty PlayStation Fanboys and ex-CEO, he basically also does no editing and just plops some generic Oblivion footage down with no cuts or anything. Wow, bro, that's so soulful, Fritanga. I can just feel the soul oozing out of this video. Basically, if you've seen one Fritanga video, you've seen them all. He just reads PlayStation fanboy tweets who might as well have 0 followers to fuel the console war bullshit, or Grum's tweets, but basically anyways, Grum's made a tweet in this video, or that's what the video is about, calling out Oblivion for being woke for the body type shit, then immediately retracted it by saying he's never played any Elder Scroll game before, and how the game is actually good, as with him never calling the game woke. So yeah, nothing new here. Everybody knows Grumps is a bundle of sticks grifter, let's be honest, okay? But anyways, it's in this video that he says it's okay that Oblivion has body types, since Elden Ring had them.
Keep in mind though, when it comes to this whole body type fiasco, I could overlook it because this was a staple of Elden Ring and nobody complained.
Which I don't need to go over how fucking stupid of a statement that is again, okay? Fritanga also calls out Griffin for calling the Oblivion Remaster soulless.
Look at Griffin. Even griffingaming beforehand was trying his absolute hardest to parrot Crowbcat and copy his shtick because Griffin isn't original. As we can see in this post of his originally trying to claim the game was soulless, and now he grifts and now says,
well, it's actually good because it's a game from back then.
And just being a grifter since he made a video later saying the game is good, supposedly. I don't know, I didn't really watch his video to be honest, but I thought I would bring that up since it's quite funny how much of a hate boner he has for Griffin, where he needs to literally bring him up in every single one of his videos, as with, you know, the synthetic man. Like, he really does act like one of those obsessive exes, which to be fair, Griffin is a bundle of sticks as well. Like, obviously I don't really care for him since he's a complete grifter, which is just all the more reason as to why this shit is hilarious. Grifters attacking grifters, Xbox shill Fritanga versus PlayStation, or maybe I guess Nintendo shill Griffin. Beautiful, truly beautiful. But anyways, also regarding the synthetic man thing, is about 3 to 4 years ago, Fritanga raided one of Synth's streams when he was streaming Cry of Fear, wanted to get Synth on his live, but the based synthetic man, the based synthetic chud, declined his offer and didn't want to go on his gay stream. So Fritanga naturally threw a temper tantrum since he couldn't get his way and told all of his viewers to mess with Synth. And ever since this, Fritanga has had a massive hate boner for Synth, all because he didn't want to go on his live stream. So yeah, we are dealing with a very sensitive, obsessive ex here. Just thought I'd mention it since, you know, it's pretty funny, let's be honest. But yeah, I won't be reviewing the Oblivion Remaster since there really isn't too much to review or talk about, especially since I already covered or mentioned all the woke shit earlier. Do I recommend it? No, not at full fucking price. Like maybe on a deep sale. It's ultimately the same exact game, just with the added modern coat of paint, with some little nice improvements here and there, such as the ability to sprint and maybe the leveling system being better, I guess. However, there's also plenty of shit wrong with the game, of which primarily being the colors and fog looking significantly worse than the original, as with other stupid changes like the difficulty now just being Skyrim's. So they removed the difficulty slider, which allowed you to fine-tune the difficulty to your liking. And now if you go from adept to expert only one tier up, the game goes from, you know, fairly easy or, you know, maybe like slightly challenging to enemies having 5 million hit points and you struggling to kill a fucking mud crab. But yeah, if you like the original Oblivion, you'll obviously like this game minus the woke changes in the graphics, as again, it's literally just the same exact fucking game, but, you know, just with the added modern woke coat of paint. I'd wait for a sale personally, or, you know, maybe just sail the high seas. Bethesda games usually do also drop in value quite fast, and if you can get this game for $20 in a year or even $10, there'll probably be many more mods that remove the woke bullshit and revert all the shit changes back to how it was in the original, as with, you know, other gameplay improvements. So yeah, either wait for a sale, sail the high seas, or just go play the original since they haven't delisted the original on Steam and it's still there and it goes on sale for like a couple dollars. So, just buy that version. And to summarize everything up, is the Oblivion Remaster soulful? Does it have the soul edge key? Hell fucking no it doesn't. And yes, obviously Fritanga is a shill. Wow, to nobody's surprise, Fritanga's a closeted Xbox fanboy. Wow, never saw that one coming.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out. Real talk.